That's it for sport tonight. Now, coming up after the break, stay with us. Gavin Morris has all your local weather details.
Australians are tossing and turning in bed. A new study revealing a whopping 45% of us aren't getting enough shut-eye each night. Experts warn we're headed for a health crisis, with sleep deprivation severely impacting our well-being and productivity.
For the past 30 years, pastry chef Darren Crisp has been getting up before dawn to prepare pies at his Allambie bakery.
To finance, and the market closed up 30 points, our dollar buying 76.41 US cents. And now with all the weather details, it's good evening to Gavin Morris.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good evening and welcome to a close look at your local weather situation. I hope you've enjoyed a break from the heat because it's going to roll back in with a vengeance. Temperatures today maxing out in the mid-20s for most, very humid still, and some massive falls of rain. Big rain totals in between Ulladulla up to the Illawarra of 100 to 150 millimetres overnight. Locally, again across the ACT, it's been a very small affair as the big rains continue right throughout the west and across the northern tropics, thanks to this intense low that is going to dump massive amounts of rain across Western Australia. Over the wheat belt, they're expected to receive about 4 months worth of rain over the next couple of days, but the pool of hot air is lingering. It's been sitting there for the best part of the season, all due to the lack of cyclone activity. We've only had one so far this season, and these monsoon lows are trying to form properly, but they just can't get there. But they're still dumping huge numbers right across the northern tropics and throughout the west. The moist onshore winds continue along the east coast, but it's all going to break up locally as the hot air is ready to move back in. It'll be diving southward, so temperatures are going to soar back into the high 20s right throughout the southeast. Another 40-degree scorcher on the way for Adelaide and the centre. The west is under a blanket of cloud, and it'll be raining across Perth. Storms continue right across the northern tropics. Showers from Cairns to Brisbane. Sydney is going to heat up as well in the coming days if you're travelling. Taking a look at the forecast winds back to the northerlies, the dreaded northwesterlies inland, pulling the heat down across the ACT, the Monero. Over the coast, we're going to see a very hot start to the day and some very strong sea breezes. They'll be building. The risk of a morning shower or drizzle patch will be brief because the hot, dry air will move in and will burn off that cloud cover throughout the day. So we're seeing some pretty big temperature swings, another humid night for the coast, but then the mercury set to soar back into the high 20s. We'll see the 30s unfold, mid-30s across the tablelands. The Monero and the Alpine areas is also going to see a very hot day. Across the ACT, some pretty big temperature swings, cool overnight, and then tops in the mid-30s throughout tomorrow. There's plenty of swell. It's abating, 2 metres dropping off, seas choppy, and we have a strong wind warning that's been issued for Eden waters due to those strong sea breezes in the afternoon. High tide tomorrow morning at about 7:46, sun to rise 6:25. A beautiful moon phase on the way for the week ahead, and we're going to see it because the cloud cover burning off. Back into the 40s for the capital. The next change comes through early next week. It's a very similar story across the southern tablelands. Scorching hot temperatures as we roll to the weekend. We'll kickstart next week under cooler skies. Also very hot across the Illawarra and throughout Wollongong with the northwesterlies and sea breezes. Temperatures are really going to drop, particularly for the south coast by the time we get to Monday. We just have to get through this latest burst of scorching hot temperatures across the region. Back for a close look at your local details again tomorrow night.
Thanks, Gavin. Before we go, an update on our top stories. Federal politics has today turned personal. Malcolm Turnbull and Bill Shorten exchanging angry insults, the Prime Minister calling his opponent a parasite. A remarkable escape for a man trapped in a dam, pinned by an excavator for 2 excruciating hours with just his nose above water before he was rescued. And a sinkhole has opened up in Sydney's most prestigious suburb, swallowing up part of the footpath and nature strip. And that's 9 News for this Wednesday. Tracy is up next with a current affair. I'm Vanessa. Have a great evening. From the team, good night.